This is 24 hours in Hanoi, Vietnam. After 2 days of travel, we landed in Hanoi, Vietnam, and our first thing was checking into the hotel. And we stayed at the Grand Hotel du LAC. I felt like it was a really great bang for your buck.
This is so sweet.
I'm traveling from the US to Vietnam, so my home currency went pretty far in Vietnam with the conversion rate. So if that is also you, I recommend definitely checking out this hotel, but I'm gonna have a video on all of the hotels that I stayed at in Vietnam in general. Our first full day is what this whole video is entailing, and we hired a tour guide because jet lag is, my gosh, a real deal. So the first place that our wonderful tour guide Steve took us to was the Temple of Literature. And this was amazing. We actually were going to go back here because we thought it would be just really cool to go at the end of the trip since we were in Vietnam for so long. We didn't make it back, but I do think it warrants a second visit because I feel like it's on the currency. It's literally image on some of the Vietnamese dong.
Oh, that looks really cool.
The phoenix is for the health, as you know, represent martial arts. And tarot for wisdom. Literature. So if you start with the phoenix, then you have more health than the study.
Okay.
You start with turtle, and then the phoenix, and then they have more wisdom. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is smooth.
I just think that it's so historical and interesting. It has a lot of history with education. That's why there was actually a graduation happening on site there, which was really cool. And we learned a lot about the symbolism and Vietnamese culture. And I feel like our tour guide, Steve, he's just really seasoned and was really able to help us make the most of our first day, even if we were, really delusional. So we learned a lot about how education is extremely important in Vietnamese culture. And these little huts were so that people could take tests for higher education or to move on to the next level in their education without cheating. So you got this little briefcase you would open up, get your test booklet out, literally just explaining to me. And it was so you couldn't see anyone. And then they had these chairs where people would sit up high and they would be the spectator. They also had this horse you could take a picture on. So that's me riding a horse. The information that was at the Temple of Literature and understanding the symbolism and the culture of Vietnam as a whole, I think it was just really fascinating.
Those are so pretty.
Another thing that we learned a lot about is the importance of altars and how everyone generally has an altar in their home to their ancestors or to people who have died in general. And I just think it's a very interesting thing to learn about, especially coming from a Western country. So I really appreciated the immediate understanding and exploration of the Vietnamese culture just upon arrival on my first day. And I highly recommend that if you're going somewhere new. I think it's really great to immerse yourself immediately and kind of get your bearings.
Paintings.
Our next stop was the Museum of Ethnology, which I think really complemented our first day's mission, which was, like I said, to immerse ourselves in all that Hanoi had to offer and really start to get our bearings and understanding of the Vietnamese culture from actually being in Vietnam and not just from what we have read or understood before arriving there. So I think this was just a really awesome stop, and I appreciated having a guide walking me through all of the complexities that this museum had and really helped us appreciate a lot of the displays and information that they had provided for you. Definitely somewhere I think you should visit 100%. And if you have the time to book a guide to walk you around, I think that is also super valuable. Or you could just hit up Steve. I'll have his information below. So this section started to give you ideas of what some of the houses in the villages years ago would have looked like. And I was like, wow, these are so cool. Displays are epic. And then we went outside and they had literal live displays you could go into, which was crazy. And I just was I had never been to a museum that had gone so far to really immerse you in everything that you were learning about. In this section, Steve's telling us that we are in a kitchen, and then we come over here. Do you see this house? Do you see those stairs to get up?
Wow. I know, the stairs are so cool.
I did go up them. You will see a clip of me in there, but I did not film myself going up. It was so difficult to get up there. This house is supposed to be a long house where a bunch of people in a family live in it, and they all have different sections of the house. And then this is inside the house with the stilts. So they do have things for you to put your shoes on so you can keep places clean. But it was so interesting. The ground was almost spongy and you were really high up. And part of the reason that they built up was so that way they were able to avoid anything down below that could be of threat. So it's very fascinating that they would build in these like stilt homes to be able to combat that. So innovative, so cool. Then we stopped somewhere to learn about lacquer art, where they still make it like in-house and then in other villages, and then they sell it. So it's really cool to have the shop owner talk to us and kind of show us everyone who was working there and kind of really see how intense this process is, because it is very intense. They use a lot of natural ingredients, and I definitely recommend visiting the shop so you can really fully understand how delicate and intricate that this process is. And if you're like me, I love buying art where I travel. So I did buy something here, but I would recommend the shop for sure. I mean, look at this gallery, and the prices are all really great. So I think that if you're someone who likes to buy art, this is the stop for you. This was definitely one of my favorite places that we visited on this day in Hanoi.
This is the street, so probably with their color like very nice little. Alright, here it is. So first thing first, again, noodles. You dip the noodles, just grab enough portion, and all you need to do is just dip it down all the way, and then you grab it again together.
Is it this bun chop?
Yeah,
Yeah,
bun chop. We sometimes also call it this one for tourists. Maybe it's the Obama dish. Thanks to him. Then that's I think I just call it like barbecue noodles. Yeah, we're doing barbecue, but this time we have the barbecue noodles. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And we normally also.
That's so good. It's like almost citrus. I mean, I guess lime is citrus, but like it's a stronger, almost orange.
Stronger taste,
Yeah, there's like a bigger fragrance to it.
We took a walk through this market where a lot of locals come to buy goods in bulk or for like specific things like fabric or flip-flops, things like that, like very specific things. And it is insane. If you want to shop in Hanoi, like you want to bring home a ton of stuff at a really great price, this is the market for you. I do have a shopping in Hanoi video coming out eventually, so if you're very curious about that topic, definitely let me know and I will get it to you as soon as possible. But this is a really cool place to walk around if you really want to kind of see how locals are shopping and just like experience this like insane market that is just jam-packed with goods and vendors. Very fascinating and so fun. You could like literally buy anything. So if you are shopping, this is the place for you.
Dessert shop.
Ooh. What seat are you at?
I'm at the local seat.
Knees to the table, but peek in the back. Can you see? Some of those tables look a little tiny. It's much better this way. Then you can like lift the food. I'm still not going to tell you how tall I am, but it helps me.
What is just because
Way to go.
you're gonna put 1 to 2 scoops
Okay.
and then wait for it. And you can
Yeah.
try this.
Oh, that's nice. When it comes to that.
Okay.
Is it just me, or are they questionably close? All of those people seem so close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel better here. I'm fairly comfortable in these kinds of scenarios. Yeah, the upper seats are cool too. Upper seats? Yes. Yeah. Wow. You're gonna love this one. Salted caramel. That's delicious. Oh.
You don't enjoy that.
I think I like this one better. I love coconut everything, but I would have assumed it would. This one feels creamier. I literally can't wait. I've seen way too many photos and videos of this experience, and I will just say I am happy to be approximately 2 feet back compared to some people who are only about 1 foot back. It's bustling. I feel like some people are unfazed, and other people are like, I did see some people just like casually walking on the tracks, like, where should we go? And I'm over here like, there's definitely a train coming in 3 minutes.
Thank you so much for watching. That is my first day in Hanoi, Vietnam. Everything I did within 24 hours before I absolutely crashed from being insanely jet lagged. So I have so many more videos in this Vietnam series coming your way. I appreciate all of the support. So if you liked this video, please consider liking it or maybe subscribing to my channel or leave me a comment down below. Do all the things. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you real soon.